You were here. For those of you just now tuning in, my name's CarmelOP. Welcome back to Conscript. We're approaching the end, hopefully. We will see. If it doesn't crash again, or maybe I don't, I probably did something and it just didn't know how to handle what I did. What was that? Oh yeah, the firebomb. And then, okay, keeping 2 inventory slots open. Don't want the bandage. See here, what tank launcher ammo? Hold up, yeah, we'll take that. Okay, wherever the launcher is. Do you have the launcher? No, but you have rifle rounds. I'll take those. We'll go ahead and just start off with the firebomb. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna hang out right here. This is the fight of our lives, the boys. Give them hell. I don't see that many other French soldiers here. That's why you told me to keep the space. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, come on. I guess this is the only place they can funnel into. They're on the wall behind you on top and they're shooting their cannons. Okay. I'm used to like, I was expecting to like see them actually just around, just firing rounds off. I think they did that like at the beginning of the game, or when you run across no man's land, you see a lot more of them in action. Of course, there's a big fat heavy dude coming. The fort is ours. Send them running. Oh shit, gas. Oh, I stood in it too long, didn't I? God damn it. I have a disinfecting bandage. I'm not going to use it yet. Okay, you know what? I am going to use it because I'm low on health. And that gives us the 2 inventory slots we need just in case shit ends out of nowhere. No, fuck off. Okay, so they gassed me out of that. Any more turret positions I can take? Probably not. Oh, another gas. You know what? No, I don't have the gas mask anymore. So, probably. Andre, take this. Take what? Oh, there it is. Shit. The grenade launcher. Fuck yeah. Let's just no, let's assign that to 2. Okay, so I'm imagining those are probably best used on the big boys. But we'll test it on the guy. you turned him into pink paste. You turn dudes into paste with a grenade launcher. That's pretty funny. Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, what the fuck? I just reloaded this. Oh, it takes a second. Whoops. That could have been bad there. Oh yeah, so he cocks it and then... Oh! Oh, I can go in there too. Holy shit. Hold up. Hold up. Let's see. Let's go ahead and assign you to 4. That blocks something, I guess. Another grenade. Shotgun rounds. Okay, I don't want to be stuck in this corner. Oh shit, music's playing. Ah, fuck, come on. Okay, I need to find more grenades. That type of grenade launcher didn't exist at the time at all. The grenade launcher is where a tube you put on top of your rifle. Load a blank cartridge and put a special grenade in the tube that you shot. What a vaguely... Yeah, wasn't there like a thing in like one of the Call of Duties where you literally stick the grenade launcher in the barrel of the rifle, or am I crazy? I think that's where I saw that. I could be very mistaken though. Why am I the only one in this trench? Okay, there we go. Is there nobody else? Guess not. Because they're not coming in through this way. Return to Pierre. Okay. That's it. You won the final battle. Oh, I gotta run. Oh, shit. Need to manage my stamina. Run, goddamn you. Shit. Let me guess, the fort falls apart. Watching where I step too, I don't want to get crushed. And let me save. Just in case. No, 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 no. Right over that one. Talk to the left guy first. Okay. He's in complete shock. His mouth is moving, but no words are coming out. Andre, you're alive. Yes, I'm fine. Thank God for helmet. Seems it saved me. Lieutenant found me in the town on the way to Vaugh. Oh, that's the medic. Okay. Honestly, I don't remember what happened after talking with you, but I'm fine, and I am here. That's all that matters. I tended to your brother, but his leg is in bad condition. It is broken, Andre. I won't lie to you, my friend. It is more than broken. I gave him morphine to numb the pain for now. The gate has been opened. There's an exit straight down these tunnels. Outside is a medical station. I will see you there. Son, you need to listen to me. We're retreating. Those bastards knew we were coming. It was a trap. They're hitting the fort with their heaviest artillery. These tunnels won't hold. Medics have tended to the wounded. We're getting out of here now. Get moving. That's an order, son. Okay, so we're going to get Andre first, right? Or not Andre. We are going to get Pierre first. Yes, pick up Pierre. Why wouldn't I? The whole game's been about saving Pierre. We are not leaving Pierre. Andre, hi. What, Pierre? Say it. He's gonna die. I already know he's gonna die. There's no way he doesn't. His leg's broken. God knows like how much blood he's losing. I'm... What, Pierre? You're what? Oh, there's another bug. Yeah, it did it again. I don't know what the load errors are. The frame skips. My leg. Insert SpongeBob meme. Yeah, see, it's... I don't know what the deal is, why it's skipping like that. I can't feel my legs. Yeah, I don't either. It's installed on an SSD. And I just upgraded to 64 gigs of RAM. The watch. I've got the watch, Pierre. Oh, I guess Andre's getting tired. That I burned out my stamina, I didn't even realize it. No, he's getting tired. I mean, he hasn't rested since the beginning of the game, so God knows how much in-game time has actually passed. Andre only slept once, and that wasn't a long sleep. Yeah, more like probably a shitty nap, because, you know, if you take a nap and it doesn't last long enough, you wake up feeling worse. Jesus, the body bag moving. Put him down here, son. Hold him down. Jesus Christ. Andre, hold him. Andre. Oh yeah, he probably passed out from being tired. That and exhausted. Probably hasn't had anything to eat or drink. At least not anything on screen, at least. Okay. I guess we're playing either as their mother or a nurse. Those look like prosthesis there. Or prosthetics, I can't think of the plural the plural word for a fake armor leg off the top of my head right now. Okay, and there's Andre. He looks like shit. During the summer months, English support at the Somme helped alleviate pressure for the French in the hills of Verdun. The Battle of Verdun would come to a close in December of 1916 after a Pyrrhic French victory. 300,000 men had sacrificed their life for negligible tutorial games. The scale of death in such a small area would have Verdun amply named the meat grinder by many of the men who witnessed its horror. Total casualties would exceed 700,000. For many of the men who were lucky to come home, a new battle was waiting for them. Yeah, adjusting. But the wounds inflicted from this battle were not physical. No, they were, yeah, PTSD. Otherwise, what was once called shell shock. Then you find out PTSD is actually insanely easy to get. It's insanely easy to succumb to it. I think there was a book I read called The Body Keeps the Score. Pretty neat book. Explained a few things. The first half of it's really fucking dry, though. Okay, a barbed wire door. Some dude dead there. Do I need to click or do I just let it go and do its own thing? Okay, photo of a family. I guess I just let it do its own thing. Unless these are like all the mementos I'm finding or something. Uh-oh. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is this nightmare? Oh god. I'll have to look up the other endings too, because I'm 100% positive the pacifist run does not look like this. The pacifist ending does not look like this. There's no way. What the fuck is? Oh, it's a nightmare. The monkey is a reference to the propaganda poster "Destroy This Mad Brew" about the German rape of Belgium, and the club I talked about for a melee run only is the club this monkey has, and that's also his scream you hear during the final assault. Okay. Oh shit. Alright. So I'm assuming this is not a flashback. This is probably present time. Take your time exploring now. Yeah, I'm going to explore everything, and I'm going to assume that either the bed ends the game or the journal in the cellar ends the game. Okay, let's see if any of these are Pierre. No. Hiver. Okay, I don't see Pierre here. Or actually, hold on, let me double check. Alfred, Germain, Alfred, okay. So yeah, I don't see Pierre yet. The third ending ended at the monkey scene. Okay. Okay, this collapsed while we were away. Run all the way the fuck down here. Ooh, maybe Pierre's room is like empty. Or no, maybe he's just there without a leg. I think there was like a tree or a log here. Okay. Or that's not his room, but he just hangs out in there one time. Okay, an old storage box with some of my old journals and schoolwork. Read the journal, yes. January 27th, 1933. Uncle Pierre came over yesterday. Oh, are you playing as Andre's kid? Him and Pa seem to argue every time they see each other. Now, Pa always says something about how Uncle Pierre owes him because he saved him in the war. I'm thankful I don't have any siblings. Yeah, Andre's son, that's what I figured. February 1st, 1933. I spent the weekend fishing at the river with Uncle Pierre. Every time I see him, his cough gets worse. He says it's from the war and how they used to fight each other with poison gas. July 14th, 33. Uncle Pierre died yesterday. He was over for dinner like every Thursday. It was the first time I'd seen him and Pa happy together in a while. Then he started having one of his usual coughing fits, but there was a lot of blood this time. It was all over the dinner table. He fell to the floor and Pa tried to wake him up, but he went cold. I will miss him. Damn. Pa hasn't touched the piano since my uncle died. Aw, damn. So that's neat how the painting has changed, I guess, based off the ending I have. And I wonder if Pierre would have died if I went with more pacifist run. Maybe, maybe not. And the house definitely looks not decrepit, but make it a little rundown. September 10th, 39. Germany invaded Poland last week. When Pa read the newspaper, a fit of rage came over him. Even worse than when he used to argue with Uncle Pierre. He was moving around like he never even broke his ankle. He must have done about 30 laps pacing up and down the house before calming down. Ma was terrified. Oh shit. I think it's funny that it's the same table as your save station. Yeah, everything's gone from in here. Why the fuck is this kid here then? Okay, Pierre's bed's gone. Pacifist doesn't have a specific ending. Okay. They have electricity though, yeah. Before I go into the cell, I'm willing to bet the cellar's open too. Yeah, it is. Okay, let me explore a little bit more. So Pierre died after the war. I'll go to the cellar after I read this. An old storage. Okay, journal. Yes, read the journal. Uncle Pierre got very drunk with Pa yesterday. Told me a story about how he lost his leg and how he got the Spanish flu in 1919 after the war and nearly died. He swore that the only reason he survived was because of my grandfather's old pocket watch that he carried. Then he pulled out his pocket and gave it to me. It was hard to take, but Pa gave me the okay. The watch doesn't even work. Guess I'll keep it with me anyway. Okay, so let's go into the cellar. And go into the secret room, I guess. There's the watch. There's the medal. There's another medal. An old sword and rifle from our family. I think they belonged to my great-grandfather. Old storage box with some journals. December 1st, 39. Pa has been quiet lately. Has been quite peaceful, but it's getting harder for him to move around as much as he used to. Maybe that's why he's calmed down. Winter's been harsh this year. Pa's been coughing a lot lately. Oh shit, does that mean Andre's dead too? Probably. Oh shit, that's boarded up, or you know, has a looks like a metal piece of metal over top of it. And they have a generator in here. So I think he's just visiting his old home before I just saw a soldier down there. Does that mean he's going off to World War II? I think it does. Anna Hiver, 1928. Pierre Hiver, 24. Pierre Hiver Jr., 1920. Oh, he died when he was 4 years old? Holy shit. Yeah, he died when he was like 37. No, 39. Damn. Now I guess you're going off to fight World War II. Dude, yeah, that's a different uniform, 100%. Ready to go, son? Yeah. Yeah, here in the plains. Okay, so possible Conscript 2. Possible. Okay, is there anything else? And by Jordan Mochi. Oh, I obtained the secret ending. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's all thanks to Emperor Renard. So he did the art. Okay, so he really did a lot of this by himself, and then the soundtrack was obviously third party. That's typical, you know, nothing crazy. He's still considered a solo dev. All right. 3D, custom 3D models. Okay, so he's had some help, but he's probably done the main programming. Okay. I don't want to skip, but like, I mean, is there going to be a secret ending? Probably not, because they just kind of showed it with the epilogue. But we'll wait it out. We'll wait it out. No rush. I mean, I've already been sitting here for 4.5 hours anyway. If you skip, it won't pass what's after. Oh, okay, really? Okay. Endings, or ending conscripted, difficulty soldier. Time took me 11 hours. Actually, let me write that down really quick. 11 hours to beat. Well, actually 10 hours and 50. 47 saves, 239 enemies killed. Healed 31 times and played through once. Tunic uniform unlocked. You can change your costume in the pause menu. Trenchcoat uniform unlocked. 1940 French uniform unlocked. Oh, save here. No. I guess save? I get, yeah, overwrite the save file. S plus rank is on. Actually, you know what? Hold on, we'll just do this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright. Alright, holy shit, I gotta take these headphones off. My tops of my ears are killing me. Okay, so typically what we do here, you have to override to go into New Game Plus. I will do that probably when I'm looking for footage later on in the review process. But since I have officially completed the game, or beaten the game once, typically that's when the review playthrough stops. And then what happens afterwards is, let's see here, 10 point. Typically what happens afterwards is I give a quick, not quick, but a quick thought about how I feel about the game. And then pretty much does it meet each of the 10 categories? Does it satisfy each one of those? And then I do it on a subjective level, and then I do that on an objective level. So objectively, I can say that, oh, this did, like, I can say one thing worked really well, but personally I didn't like it, you know, and that's going to play a lot into this title. It's going to play a lot into it. Oh god. So this is, and then I will do a full review on the channel at some point in the future where there's like an actual video that's actually fun to watch. Or at least I try to make it fun to watch. Okay, so graphically, oh god, hold on, I need to get a drink really quick because my throat's fucking killing me. Okay. So graphically overall, it's not meant to look fantastic. It's not meant to. It's meant to be stylized, which typically games that are stylized do better in the long run because they look their part rather than trying to look realistic, because most titles that try to look hyper realistic will eventually look how old they actually are. So with a stylized graphic option of having like pixelated graphics in reality, even though there's probably 3D models in the game, it still works overall, and I think most people who look at the game can appreciate that to a sense. It adds to the experience of war being awful. The graphics, I'd like to hear your explanation on that, because I'm not necessarily picking up what you're putting down. But graphically overall, it does what it sets out to do. There's nothing that was terribly difficult to read. Yes, the sewer pipes in the one level were terrible or were kind of rough to read because I thought they were closed. Enemy directions were easy to tell what direction they were facing. Most items looked at their part, so nothing too grossly hard to look at or hard to understand what it's trying to tell you, that what it is. Sounds work. Guns really didn't sound like guns almost. Like, I don't know if that's because of the era of the firearms are taking place in, that they sound kind of softer than what you'd expect, or if, you know, if I've played too many games or watched too many movies set in that era where the guns sound chunkier and heavier than what they actually are in reality. Which, you know, it's been a while since I've watched any films. I watched part of 1917 and stopped. You know, every time you hit somebody with a fucking shovel, it sounds like somebody's getting hit over the head with a shovel. Every rat sounds like a rat. Like, yeah, the grenades didn't sound explosive. I mean, it conveys the message, but I feel like a lot of those sound effects were kind of weak. Yeah, that's in the running. Obviously, you're gonna hear that running all the fucking time. Other than that, sound effects did their job. Let you know when you did stuff and when shots landed or when shots missed, especially on the swing. You just got the whoosh of the air. The music was surprisingly good, probably before I realized there's no monsters in the game. Which I was 50-50 on. I wanted there to be monsters in the game, and I also didn't want there to be monsters in the game. So like I would have been satisfied with either. But the underscore definitely gives you a creepy vibe. Definitely has an undertone to it that makes you uncomfortable in a way, or that puts you on edge to make you like worry about what's coming up next. Do you count? No, like, I mean, an actual monster you fight, like, that's a hallucination, you know? That's not like an actual monster. That's just a thing. You know, it's a representation of a political thing, as you pointed. Not a political thing, like a reference to a propaganda poster. Destroy this mad brew. Yeah, it's a reference, is all it is. But regardless, the music did its job well. It definitely sets this sad tone to the environment and the world that, you know, that the game's taking place in. So musically, overall, it's fine. Bugs, crashes, and annoyances. The one annoyance I'm going to get to will probably apply to the gameplay section. But I think most people will make it through the game without any hard crashes. We had to alt F4 there at the end, but I've done that before on there. I don't know what it is that does it. I think it's just not enough testing on some games. But I've done it to 2 games now where I think I've pressed inputs so fast because, you know, like, you know how to navigate menus. I've done it so fast that I've locked myself out. It was this and Bendy and the Dark Revival where I locked myself out and had to hard restart the game, but I will take the blame for that because I think that's just me going too fast on a game that's maybe not as polished as well as it could be or should be. But most people, they'll be fine with it. For me, bugs, crashes, or annoyances. There was some frame skips, but I'm going to blame that on my rig as well because obviously, you know, you were asking about it, so obviously you didn't encounter that. There was a crash in previous version where if you interact too quickly on puzzle screen, it might have been it. That might have been a different thing. Might be a different symptom of the same problem. But other than that, I think like it works. You can play from beginning to end, and if you don't do anything like crazy fast, you can make it to the end. Like, you know, UI menu wise. Oh, the story. Okay, so what is the story of the game, right? The story is Andre trying to get to his brother Pierre and rescue him and whatever. That's the story. You're just given an end goal. Are there things in between? Sure. Sorry. Are there things in between? Sure, but there's nothing really. It's A to B. There's more story than Mario saving Peach? I don't think so. You can't count your princesses in another castle, you know? You really can't. I'm trying to think of story segments in the game. Because a lot of the game is just you doing things, right? Like the pigeon, you're just doing a thing. Clearing out the town, you're just doing a thing. There's no purpose behind anything you're doing other than solving puzzles to unlock the next area to get to, like, the entire town that we were in at the start of the stream. That's just to get a key. That's all there is. There's individual character interactions with Andre, like the medic, the smoker. That's really it, and you know, the lieutenant and stuff. But there's really no. The only direction you have is go save Pierre. Go save Pierre. That's really all you have. It shows the destruction on civilian side and the impact. Yeah, but people kind of know that. And that's not part of the... I mean, yeah, that is part of the story. Fuck. I mean, but it's not... Well, no, it's not part of the direct story. I would put that in the category of... in the same category as you would lore, almost. You know, like, pretend this was a fantasy game. And then it becomes, like, lore, almost. But if that's the message it's trying to convey, you know, everybody knows that. World building, yeah, we live in this world, though. You know what I mean? So, like, it's... I don't want to say it's uninteresting, but you understand the concept of war. Now, if you take like a 16-year-old kid who never knew that any country ever went to war ever, that everybody's always been at peace, if he's thought that and he plays this game and was told this was reality, then yeah, that would be mind-blowing. But for story, I'm gonna have to say there really is. You're given an objective, and everything in between is you just trying to get to that objective. Just so because everyone knows it, then you don't show it. I'm going to show it because, like, there's some great parts in there that I really like. Like the I think it's a female. She makes the prosthetic faces for dudes, for soldiers. And I'm definitely going to show, because like that's part of the script too, is the horror of the game is not scary monster chases you. The horror of the game is the human factor, that you kill a soldier and lo and behold you pull out a photograph of their daughter, their family, their dog. You know, it adds a much more human element than what it would if you were just mowing down, you know, hordes of enemies in fucking Call of Duty. You know, this game does done more for that aspect than Call of Duty has ever done in its years and years and years and years of existence. So that's one thing it does really well. But for actual story, it doesn't have anything, but everything around it exists. But it's just, I must save my brother. That's the story. You know, and it becomes more of things getting in your way rather than you kind of progressing. Even though you are progressing through the gameplay, it's kind of difficult to articulate right now. It doesn't need to be complicated. It can be an A to B story, but an A to B story, you know, if that's it, that's it. You know, you can have great world building, but an A to B story is an A to B story. You know what game was it I reviewed? It wasn't Still Wakes the Deep. Was it Styx Shards of Darkness? Or it might have been Blood West. Like there's so many games out there that do just have an A to B. It might have been Bendy and the Ink Machine. No, yeah, they kind of had, kind of. But a lot of titles, they will put emphasis on the things that are happening around the story rather than the story itself. Fuck, what game was that? Let me look. Because Still Wakes the Deep, it did not have a story. As much as people say it does, it did not. What was it? Wasn't Shadwin, wasn't Another Crap's Treasure. What title was it that did not have more world building? Yeah, I guess Bending the Ink Machine, it had more world building than it did actual story. Yeah. Yeah, that would be it. It would be Bending the Ink Machine had more world building and lore setup than it did actual story. Yeah, because Blood West was very similar. It's A to B. It was A to B, and you got a lot of world building in Blood West too. You did have a lot of world building. And then Stick Shards of Dark, like Master of Shadows had a better story than Shards of Darkness. The Shards of Darkness was it was A to B, you know, more or less, because they didn't do anything with a lot of the twists in it. Did you let's see, did I have a more enjoyable time playing it with you telling historical facts about it? A lot of things inside the game. I mean, kind of, you know. So here's the thing, right? Is like they kind of missed an well, I mean, they kind of told you everything about Verdun at the end of the game, but that would have been nice for them to kind of set that up, like at the beginning, unless I just don't remember. Where at the beginning of the game they said, you know, X, Y, and Z. This is based at the Battle of Verdun, where blank artillery shells were fired. X amount of people, you know, like they could have set up the brutality at the beginning rather than showing you the statistics at the end. You know, I genuinely don't think they show that at the beginning of the game. Let me see. Play. Let's see here. Yeah, I think they say, let's see here. Yeah, I think they do say that it's yeah, that's at Verdun. Yeah. There's a lot of text at the beginning. I added even more. I just don't let's see here. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to skip ahead in the cutscene, but it's a fucking 4-hour video, so I gotta. Let's see. Come on, hurry up, game or video. June 12th, 1916. Great Wars raged for 2 years. Millions of husbands, fathers, and sons have already been sent to slaughter. The German army have hammered Verdun with artillery since February. This will be one of the longest and bloodiest battles of the entire war. Okay, yeah, but you don't really feel that. But it's whatever, right? It's whatever. But story-wise, for your average gamer, not somebody who loves this game, not somebody who knows everything in and out, not somebody who has played classic Resident Evils. This is for people who are maybe born in 2005, 2010, 2015. You know, for those people, are they going to enjoy the story? I don't think so. Especially now, since like fucking everything's hand fed to you. If you've ever played a PlayStation title, you're more or less playing a movie than you are a video game. So for your average person, the story objectively for your average dude bro COD shooter player, it's going to get a 0 because they're not going to know what the fuck's going on. They're just kind of going through the motions rather than understanding the purpose of what they're doing. That could have been helped, I think, if there were more instances of Andre having monologues. If Andre had more, I'm still thinking about what I think. This is for like your general dude bros, right? Your dude bros who buy Call of Duty every year, your dude bros who buy FIFA every year, your COD bros who buy Madden every year, who buy this is just for your average person looking at the game on Steam who has no idea, right, of what they're getting into. But my hard criticisms would be that you're kind of just doing things. I think Andre was a missed opportunity for character development. He really was. As I pointed out towards the end of the game, it would have been great for him to have a lot of introspective about the world that's going on around, or like what's going on around him, the things he's done, the things he's seen. You get one scene. I think it was after you either right before or right after you cross no man's land. Like there's a scene of like him looking at his hands, one with a picture of, I guess, his mom, and the other one with something else in it, and he's shaking. Like that's the only character development we get with Andre. Other than that, he's just like a soulless husk that people talk at. You know, I hope if they make a Conscript 2, there's a lot more introspective into the character, because the character's just a blank shell. And if it's still like a pacifist run or a morality run or whatever, where a game maybe changes depending on your actions, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. At least you get different endings, right? So I feel like depending on how you play the game, it should reflect that as you play the game instead of waiting until the end. So I think that's a huge missed opportunity for the story, because Andre has zero character development. You find out a lot about Pierre. You find out a lot, but from Andre, it's just not it. The world building, yeah, there's losses in war, got it. But for me, I feel like Andre, if you're playing as the main character, they should be more than just a random soldier. So that gets a 0 from me. This one's going to be tough too. Oh god, 6 is going to be tough. 6 is going to be tough. The effectiveness and engagement of gameplay. Is it fun or makes you want to play for just one more turn? Oh, this is a rough one, because this is trying to emulate a style of gameplay that no longer exists. And there's a reason for that, is because people got tired of it eventually. People kind of liked more straightforward gameplay elements and game flow. It went from having to explore rooms multiple times to find key items that go to certain places in order to move on to the next act of the game or the next level, and moved on from that to more streamlined experiences. The best example of this is the shift from Metal Gear Solid 3 to Metal Gear Solid 4, where in Metal Gear Solid 3 you had like multiple maps you could explore through, and you'd have to run back and forth across them to progress the story, whereas in Metal Gear Solid 4 it was a lot more linear. And now we've seen it where the linear gameplay has gone out the window, and more an open world is back, but it's a lot more focused in areas rather than running back and forth, trying to figure out what to do, because it's a lot easier for somebody to go into an area, like let's say the Green Forest, do all the things in the Green Forest and move on. And so does this emulate the classic Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear type of gameplay? It absolutely does. It absolutely encapsulates it to a T, because it's frustrating at times. You have to manage your inventory. You have to watch your ammo, which is like, you know, kind of like, it was fun, you know, having to worry about that, but it is frustrating. Now, it's frustrating. You kind of don't know what you're doing. You're just kind of doing stuff. I think your average dude bro might not necessarily enjoy it because they don't know what they are doing and why. This goes back to Andre maybe having retro or introspectives where he says to himself, okay, now I got to do this so I can blank. This is done. Now blank is open. Oh, you know, like the keys were easy, right? You pick up the helmet key. Okay, now I can open up the helmet doors. That's a pretty simple thing to figure out. But I think it would have helped out to keep players engaged if you knew why you were doing these things, rather than just doing them to make sure all the boxes are checked on the map. That's essentially what you're doing in, you know, these older games, which, you know, is a satisfying experience once you start wrapping up areas. but for your average dude bro, it's a 0. I don't think your average dude bro who plays Call of Duty is going to enjoy it. For me, I enjoyed it because even as painful as it was, I still enjoyed the fact that that's what those games were like back in the day. And not only that, I played it in a way where only saves mattered. I think your average Call of Duty dude bro is going to do saves and checkpoints, where I only did saves. I could have done checkpoints, it wouldn't have really changed much, but I'm glad I didn't. That way, every time I left a safe room, it added that extra level of stress that should accompany a horror game. So for me, that gets an easy 1 because it emulates that style. As annoying and as back and forth and as much inventory management as you do, that's what that was, and it did it well. So replayability and post-game. Replayability, there are multiple endings, and post-game, so there are no post-game missions. Once you finish the game, that's it. There's no, like, post-game is more or less in the lines of Skyrim and or Fallout or Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom. What other games have post-game? Actually, let's hear. Tales of Iron has post-game to it. This game does not have post-game to it. Does it have, like, it just straight up doesn't. Does it have replayability? It does, because you have different ways you can play. You can do a pacifist run. You can go and find maybe a few collectibles you missed or get a new ending that you missed out on. So by default, it does have replayability. New Game Plus is the same as base game, but you get access to unlimited merchant stock and new items if you unlock them by doing achievements. And plus, you have different endings. Believe it or not, multiple endings motivate a lot of people to keep playing a game so they can get a different ending, right? So this is honestly a coin flip if a dude bro, Call of Duty bro, will replay it for within a year, or I'm sorry, will replay it for different endings. But as for post game, they're like, it just doesn't have one. Once the game ends, it ends. There's nothing else. But you do have New Game Plus, and you do have replayability. So that gets an automatic 1 from me, and objectively, since I cannot, that's per person. That's per random person. Is it too much or too little? Does it last too long? So this one's, how much does this cost? Full price. Full price, $20. Okay, that's a fair price. Has a DLC that's cosmetics, which that's $5. That's fair. That's entirely fair. But is it too long or is it too short? It's not too short. It's not too short. Is it too long? That's the question. Because how long does it take before somebody loses interest? My signal, whether I realize I'm doing it or I'm not, is when I start running by enemies. When I just don't care anymore and I run by enemies. And the length definitely gets coupled in with the story, because if the story is well paced out and you have chapter 1 objective, chapter 2 objective, chapter 3 objective with all sub objectives, whatever, the length doesn't seem as long as it actually is. Is 11 hours too long? Let's be real here. If I didn't die a few times, and maybe if I remembered to put stuff in my inventory, that's probably about 10 and a half hours, give or take. 10 and a half. Which my final time was like 10:54. So let's say 10 hours and 15 minutes. Like, realistically, if I didn't die, well, no, actually, no, the save accounts for, or should account for, yeah, so that's actually my actual time. That doesn't count times I've died. That counts for actual time between saves, I guess, total save time. So 11 hours, probably 11:30, because running back and forth, forgetting things or missing a room. I mean, for what was the total price of the game? 20 bucks for a 10. Well, no, it's not even a 10-hour experience, or it's not even an 11-hour experience because you have a replay value to it. If you want to get the alternate endings, that's the thing. The length is helped if people want to play the game over and over again. And then I guess by then, if you've played it raw your first time, then you don't know anything, or you don't know anything. Then your second time, you look for the absolute perfect playthrough and look up where stuff is. I guess the length would be good because it would be much shorter than the 11-hour mark. So I think 11 hours, 10 to 11 hours. Sure, there's going to be some frustration in the middle there with the inventory management, maybe dying a few times, and general confusion of the the gameplay model. But other than that, yeah, I think the length is just fine for a $20 game that has replay value. That's hard to find replay value in a $20 title. Environments, so differentiation and variability. So we have the trenches. Actually, hold up, let me actually look at these. It's been a while, so we're gonna load. Yes, we're gonna load that. If I can pull up all the maps, that would be helpful. If I can pull up all the maps. Come on. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we have the support trench where you spend a good amount of the game. Well, actually, all the chapters are pretty long, but I feel like you spend a chapter and a half here. So you have the trenches. You have Fort Seville, which is more. Oh wait, I didn't ever go in there. The hot door. I never went in there. Huh. Okay. Let's see, your frontline trench. That's more of your... All of this is like intro. And then this was used for something else. Supply trench. That was south of the main trench. That's for the extinguisher where you get the hand cannon. Oh, okay. Then you have this kind of like no man's land layout. Fort St. Michel. No, okay, no, this is actually no man's land. Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, there are several environments, but the important part is that they're all different. Because there's several titles I've reviewed that, even though they have a lot of different areas, they all look too samey. And I think what helped, not the outer perimeter. What helped Fort Vaux is that it's a lot darker and it has like its own color palette as opposed to like the Fort St. Michel or the Frontline or Fort Seville. Like they all had their own kind of unique color palettes at times. And then the road was almost multiple, not biomes. I can't think of the word. But it hadn't no, actually, never mind. I take that back. But the road was nice. You can, it was neat to see. And then the city, as much as I didn't like the city, you could tell you were in a town. That's the important part. You can tell you're in a town. You can tell you're in the middle of a road here. You can tell you're in the you can tell you're in different trenches than these trenches. That's the important part. So the differentiation's really on par, and it accomplished what it needed to really set each area a little bit differently. So yeah, I think most people think it all looks different enough. Yeah. Also, each zone has a soundtrack. Yeah, the soundtrack was awesome. The soundtrack was amazing. Yeah, the environments were fine. As for the entire package, can you recommend this game to your average player, to your average gamer who maybe plays 1 or 2 brand new games a year? You know, their comfort food is the Call of Duty, is Overwatch, is Counter-Strike. Can you recommend this to them? And you can, but that comes with a huge caveat of be prepared for a lot of frustration, be prepared for a lot of running back and forth, be prepared, like they have to know what they are getting into. And they also have to know that this is not really like a horror game as we're used to. It's a horror game in the sense that this is a game about human suffering and the cost of war. That's really the horror that is in the game. If they play Fortnite or League of Legends, they're used to frustration. Yeah, most definitely. And they are. But this is a recommendation with a huge caveat. And this is like a thing, you won't recommend it to everybody, right? But I don't even know if your average player would want to play this. I don't know if they could finish it. That's the thing, can they finish it without getting bored and putting it down forever? Right, that's the thing. I don't think you could. I don't think you could talk to your average person and tell them to try this game out. For history nerds, it's awesome, yeah, but it's pretty niche. It's for your average dude, I don't think so. I don't think you can recommend this to your average Call of Duty player. I don't think you could. So, objectively, for your average person walking into a GameStop that doesn't know the difference between each and every Xbox, which I don't think anybody does, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. Objectively. Subjectively, I can't recommend. When I write the review, I'm going to have to put that in there as well. Like, this is a very niche game. This is not Amnesia: The Dark Descent. This is not Alien Isolation. This is not Outlast 1. This is not Outlast 2. This is not the new Resident Evil. This is not Resident Evil 7 or 8. It's listed as a survival horror. A World War I, and an atmospheric title on the Steam page. I agree with 3 of those. I don't agree with survival horror because I consider survival horror along the lines of Amnesia and Outlast, where you are absolutely defenseless. But again, I think this game is almost too... I could recommend this game, let's see, but you gotta end on a high note. It's made by one guy and it's his first game too. And that will be part of the review. That will be part of the full-length review. This is not the full-length review. No. This is not it. I have a dedicated YouTube channel where I make videos. Like, I sit in an editor and make videos reviewing titles. So it being made by a solo dev, awesome. But I cannot look, I got one friend, he lives right up the road. I cannot look him in the face and tell him to play this. I can't. I got another friend who's a huge military nerd. He loves, he and I serve together. He plays a ton of strategic military games. I don't think he would like this because he likes strategic military games. Not in this environment, in this setting. I don't think he would enjoy it. My wife would enjoy this game because she likes the classic Resident Evils. She likes the puzzle aspect to it. She likes, having environments to fully explore. She would like it. So the problem is that I can't blanket recommend this to everybody. That's the issue. And unfortunately, I can't. It's a good game, but just because of it, I can't recommend it to anybody. Only those niche people. But on my subjective review score, it gets a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10. No, I don't do 0.5. I don't do 0.5. I do solid. Do they meet the criteria? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. If I get into 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, or I'm sorry, If I get into 0.5s, if I get into half points, then it opens up the question, like, why not 0.3? Why not 0.2? Why not 0.7? Then it opens up a whole another can of worms. And then plus, this is just my first thoughts about the review. On my full-length reviews, I don't assign numbers. The full-length reviews are more or less, do I think a game is good? Do I think a person should play it? And I go through, I give a final statement, and then I highlight all these categories as I review it. So yeah, that's really it. So gets an 8 out of 10 for me, which is pretty good. Pretty good. I don't think our highest scoring games, or our most popular games, don't even score that high. Let me actually look. So finished 2024. Another Crap's Treasure was a fantastic game. I only gave it a 7 out of 10. Blood West, 7 out of 10. Deathloop, 7 out of 10. Dishonored 2, 7 out of 10. Dishonored 1 got a 9 out of 10. Filter got an 8 out of 10. Let's see here. Still Wakes the Deep, 4 out of 10. Tales of Iron got a 10 out of 10. You know? But if I go into halvesies, then it's going to be like, why don't I do 0.1s, 0.2s, 0.3s, and I'm not opening that door. Do you meet the requirement or not? Yes or no? Because like when people give a game 95 out of 100, I'm like, what does that mean? You know, like, do you have subcategories that you have to fill out? Like, do I gotta start doing 1.1? You know, do I gotta start doing that? 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, you know? Yeah, I will. After I gotta take the dogs out and let them out and all that stuff. But yeah, if you click those banners, I'll take you to the review page, and this review probably won't be up for a hot minute. But yeah, that's it. That was Conscript. I enjoyed the game. I just can't recommend it to anybody. I can recommend it to select few people. It's a good game. It set out what it wanted to do. It wanted to create a horror experience on human suffering with a gameplay style of the classic Resident Evils. Did it accomplish that? Yes. Is it a great game? You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy it for what it is, but I can't tell Dude Bro 69 to play it, because he's going to get to maybe an hour in and put it down forever. But other than that, we are on hour 5. My voice is probably shot. Thank you, Renard, for stopping in and helping out.